So looking here, what we'll do is work on the edit page because we want people to be able to click and edit. So if you look at the view and you keep your eye here on the edits that we just worked out in the last video, see that it's still pointing to post. So we'll just do a countries edit, countries edit, and we do a countries delete, country, so country and then country. Alright, so we have an edit and delete for this. Are you sure you wish to delete this country? Cool. Alright, so this is a pop-up, a JavaScript pop-up when you click on it. So look at what it does. From here, if I click, there will be a pop-up asking me, are you sure you wish to delete this post? I'll click cancel. I don't want to delete it now. So if I click reload, we have an unclosed error in countries view on line 30. We have a syntax error on line 30. Okay, we don't need this. Okay, so that sorts our problem. If we refresh this page, it should go. And this button, keep your eyes here, this button should now lead us to our edit page. As you can see, it still looks very awkward. We just need to edit the country name and country code. So if we get back to our code, we can, if you notice that the edit and the add page are identical, so what we can do is to look at how they are different. So they are very identical. We have the country code and stuff like that, but the only difference is usually in the form path, because you're going to go to edit / an ID. All right, so apart from that, they are largely the same. So we'll copy every other thing inside this form, we'll delete it, every other thing inside the form. Then we'll go to our countries add and copy, because the two fields we need are just exactly here. So we'll copy the country name and code field, copy it, and go to the edit and paste it inside the form. Paste. So it now has name and field. Alright, so now we need to pre-fill. Before then, we need to just change this to point to countries edit, and then country. So what this will translate to is countries / edit / the country ID, which is like 1 or 2 or 3, you understand? So it's a post request, and then there is an errors.name. Okay, if there's an error, and the thing is the value, as you can see, input, this is an input field that has the name of name, placeholder, but then it doesn't have a value. So we need to pre-fill it with the value of the country. You know, when you want to edit something, you need to see the former content before it. So I'll just do it for one. I'll just say the value is country.name, which means if we go to our browser and refresh, we'll see that this text area is no longer there, and we're redirected. We're redirected because of a simple thing in the controller. So we'll go back and check it out. Remember, we just copied and pasted the code in the controller, and that simple code is what redirected this. So let's go and check which culprit it is. So if we go back here and go to our countries controller, and we scroll to edit, as you can see in the edit, first of all, it's getting the list of the countries that gave it the ID. You passed in an ID, as you can see. There's an edit and there's an ID, country 246, that we passed in. And then this is the part that redirected us. Is checking whether the user that is currently logged in is the user that created the country. As you can see, we don't have users creating countries, so we don't need this condition, so we can just delete it. Okay, delete it. So the next thing is checking is if the user is an admin, which is if the role ID is less than 3, which is rightly only admins should be able to edit countries. So this is it. And then it's if you're not an admin, it just redirects you away, and then it processes the rest. In the country, we make use of name and code, so we're just going to change it to name and code. Name and code must not be empty, And then the next thing we do is to change, if the validation fails, all right, it redirects. Okay, then next what it does is it tries to save the data. So we have saves as name and code. It doesn't just save the data, it saves the data in the ID. Remember, you passed in an ID into this form. From here, you know, this country says country is edit / ID / country ID. So this ID is what is passed into this as args. All right, so in this args, we're just basically updating a certain, we're going to the database, find it and update it. That's what this simple code does. So we're updating name and code with the name and code. Name and code. Alright, so we have these two, and we have add message, country updated successfully. Okay, countries view. So if this code runs successfully, we just update it here and then we redirect. Okay, so it works well. Let us go back to our edit page. I'm going to click on this and hit enter on my keyboard. So we are not allowed, because if you are smart, you would have noticed the error we had, then the mistake we made. That is, if we come here inside the edit function, we're basically saying if the ID is less than 3, which is if the person has an ID of 1 or 2, which means if they are an admin, they should redirect and throw this error, which is wrong. You understand? We're supposed to check if the person is not an admin. So we're going to say if the ID is greater than 2. You understand? So that means the ID is not equal to 2 and is not less than 2, which is 1. So which means this person is not an admin. So if this person is not an admin, redirect. Okay, so that's why we had that error. So if we go back and hit enter, we are out of that error. So what we're going to check is this one is saying is country, the same error we had when we did that add posts. When we did the general change, it affected something. So we are basically checking if this form was submitted here. So it should actually be if request is post, not is country. So because we're looking at post request, it was that Control H that we did at the top here that changed this. Okay, so right now we have this. It solves our problem. We'll check it one more time. Reload. Okay, cool. So we have sorted it out, and as you can see, it lists the country that we're about to edit. The next thing we're going to do is to try and make it to add the country here, the country code. Now, if you look at, you may be wondering why was it able to list this country? It is because in the edit page, once the edit page is visited, the first thing we do is to find the country. We'll go to the database, get it as a country. That's the very first thing we do. Second thing we do is check whether the person is an admin. Okay, if he's an admin. Then the third thing we do is check whether a form is being submitted. What if a form is not being submitted? As you can see, if a form is not being submitted, we skip all this and just render the view. Alright, so I'm passing this country. This country is the details of the country we just retrieved in the database. Alright, so that's why we're able to just say country.name inside view. If we just say country.name, we get the name of the country. So if we get back to view and in the edit, sorry, not the view, if we go back to the edit, we say country.name, it just gives us the details of the country because we already fetched it. So which means for the code, we just say country.code. So in the code, we're just going to say placeholder country.code. It just gives us the code of the country. So that's how to get the contents of a form in the edit field that you're creating. Alright, so this basically creates the tool and it's taken care of. So what we're going to do here is to change post to country.name. And like we did before, we just put a dash if we want and just put the code, country code beside it. So what we have is country.code. Okay, we don't need the time it was created, we just delete it. So this basically sorts our problem. And if you're wondering what this does, this carries the rest of the page, the rest of the template framework, and adds it on top of your file. Alright, so if we go back, if we refresh, we should be able to see the country code here. We reload, So we'll see this and that. Okay, now what we check out is we made a mistake. As you can see, this is country instead of country. That is why our country didn't show up here. So if we refresh it, we'll see the country name show up here. So the country name shows up here and we can edit it. So thank you very much. If I want to edit this, I can just put QT, Q 8 something. Oh no, just Q 8. I'll just click submit. Just a way to test it. As you can see, it changes it to Q8. All right, we can always edit, and we can Q7 changes to Q7. All right, in the next video we will work on the delete button, so that once we click on this, click OK, it should just delete this, because we need to delete this. All right, and so that we can enjoy. Then and also we'll have to add it to admin menu. As you can see, admin accesses all posts, all roles, and we need to add all countries for the admin. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.